Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here. Don't forget to subscribe. And today we are talking about Tesla because their full self-driving feature seems kind of dangerous. And Sean O'Keefe of TechCrunch had a really good write-up on this. And if you didn't know, here's what's going on. But the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, known as NHTSA, has opened an investigation into Tesla's full self-driving technology after receiving reports that the software had caused vehicles to do things like run red lights, cross into the wrong lanes, and more. So this probe, which identified more than 50 reports of these kinds of violations, 4 of which that led to injuries, is one of the first specifically targeted at the FSD, or full self-driving driver assistance software that Tesla has put out. So NHTSA, for the record, previously opened an investigation into FSD in October of 2024 after receiving reports of crashes in low visibility conditions. I remember doing a video and podcast around that time where a guy was basically letting FSD drive him around in his Tesla, and it was a somewhat foggy day, but you still had some visibility, and the car completely missed that a train, like a freight train, was going through the intersection. The railroad crossing lights were blinking, all this, and it was driving him straight into a train, and if he hadn't taken the wheel and ripped the car to the side, he probably would have been killed. So I say all that to say that the Federal Safety Agency in April 2024 also closed an investigation into Tesla's less capable autopilot system after identifying 13 fatal crashes related to the misuse of that software, and a separate investigation into the efficacy of the fix that Tesla issued to autopilot remains open right now. So this new investigation was open the same week that Tesla released the latest version of the FSD software, which Elon Musk, CEO of Tesla, has been hyping. The other side of it, and there's been a lot of complaints regarding the autopilot system as well, basically saying that Elon Musk had overstated the capabilities of the autopilot, and so people trusted it more than they shouldn't. There's plenty of articles and all of that. That is not my, basically, I'm not saying that as a fact. That is the opinion of many of others, and you should go read on that one as well. So this new version is supposed to incorporate training data that Tesla acquired during its limited robotaxi pilot that's currently underway, for the record, in Austin, Texas. I was recently actually in Austin, and I saw some of those cars as well. So the safety agency's Office of Defects Investigation, or ODI, said this past Thursday that it received at least 18 complaints and 1 media report alleging that Tesla's FSD software failed to stop the car or stay stopped at red lights. In other words, it's blowing red lights. We can't do it, but we also recently saw a Waymo get pulled over for doing a moving violation or traffic violation, and the cops couldn't give it a ticket because there was no driver, right? So in addition, ODI also said that it identified 6 reports from Tesla under the agency's Standing General Order for Crash Reporting, or SGO, which requires companies to submit information about crashes involving autonomous or partially autonomous cars. And if I remember correctly, I believe there's an allegation to Tesla out there that they were withholding a lot of this information to basically skew the results. So some of these violations came from specific locations, such, and this is interesting, such as an intersection in Joppa, Maryland. I have no idea where Joppa or Joppa is. And so I think this really begs the question, though, as to why and how unique situations are going to basically be scattered through literally millions of intersections around the world. Remember, Tesla sells cars everywhere on the planet, right? Or at least in a lot of countries, if not everywhere. And so this is of deep concern, because when you are looking at full self-driving, especially if it's being hyped as, you know, you can get into your car drunk and fall asleep and the car will safely bring you home, or you can stick your dog in the back seat, you know, and it'll take Fido to the vet for you. But if it's violating essentially intersections, or it's violating red lights, or it's driving in between lanes, or whatever it's doing for whatever reason, these are the things that should be well hammered out. And given the uniqueness of every traffic pattern by country, I've been in some countries where I don't know how people survive every single day. Driving on the roads in Cambodia, for example, oh my God, like everybody is everywhere. It's absolutely nuts. China, like in Beijing, was just getting out of that airport, was like, oh my, I don't know how a driverless car would fully survive unless it was fully adapted to those patterns because, like here in Chicago is different than LA or New York or anywhere else. And so these are variables that they are going to have to account for. And quite frankly, they're not. So I guess we'll see what happens here, but heads up to you. If you have the full self-driving system from Tesla or in your Tesla vehicle, I don't necessarily know if I'd fully trust it just yet. And so there you go. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well. And as always, stay safe, stay online, and please, please, please attempt to stay private, informed, and secure. Take care.